Hi everybody, something slightly different for you today. I bought a John Deere 6010 a few months back, and one of the first things I did was to change the oil on the oil filter, just to be sure. So you can see there, I changed that in September, October. But I was doing a wee bit of work under the bonnet and I discovered something which I'll show you in a moment that made me realise I have to change all the filters. I'll show you here in a minute. And this is what I found. First of all, well, that's the inner air filter. May 2013, it's now October 2024. Likewise, the outer one, May 2013, 3,000 hours. It's now 6,500 hours, and it's still on the same filter. So that they badly need replaced. Plus, look at the radiator screen here. It's just chock full of dirt. So whenever I saw the dates on those filters, I saw the dirt on that screen, I, to be honest, decided, right, I need to change every filter on the thing. So that's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to change all the filters. So yeah, bear with me. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get an air line with a compressor and blow out all the dirt on that screen before I take off the old air filter, because I don't want to be blasting the dirt from this screen into the new air filter. I don't mind putting it in around the old one. So yeah, that'll be step one. Okay, I just turned the generator off there for a minute, but the airline, I'm going to do that. I'm going to clear the whole screen. The one thing I'm a wee bit worried about is that I'm blowing the air in the back here, so I'll also take this side panel off just to make sure that I can see where the muck's going, and that I get it all cleared. So yeah, I'll come back to you when I've that done. Right, that's looking a wee bit cleaner. At least I can see through to the cooling elements now. I couldn't see through before. I also cleaned out the airbox a bit. It's not perfect, but it's a lot better than it was. I just blew it out with the air gun. And what I'll do now is I will remove the inner air filter, which is just held on by 3 screws, and then I'll replace them. That's the new inner filter and that's the new outer filter, and that'll be that bit done. So yeah, straightforward enough. I've just opened up the new ones, and to see they've been good enough to even give me 3 new bolts to replace. If you just look at the colour of the element inside that new one, compared to, hard to see, but it's very dirty in there. It's a lot better. And likewise, the outer filter, pretty dirty. Well worth changing compared to the new outer one. Nice, bright, shiny, clean. So yeah, I'll just go ahead. I'll take out these 3 bolts and put the new inner one in, and then I'll put the new outer one in here and put it all back together. New ones in. I've also marked them with the hours and the date on both the inner and outer, because I have a head like a sieve and I will forget otherwise. Putting it back on is just the reverse of taking it off. I set it on the supporting bar. These 2 little bits on the front go on the supporting bar, and then slide it in to the right, and then pull that handle down to tighten her up, and then swing it across, and that's it locked. That's it locked in place. So thanks John Deere, really nice easy system for changing the air filters. Yeah, air intake all good. Everything looks spot on now, so yeah, hopefully that's that problem cured. Yeah, I'll change the fuel filter now. The fuel filter is around the side. And in there now, that's a genuine John Deere filter. This is an aftermarket one, but I don't know whether you can see, but there's a glass bowl at the bottom of this filter, and the guy in the shop said that that can be taken off, and simply by removing the black bung at the bottom of the new one, I can screw in the glass filter just so I can see any dirt, contaminants, water that might be building up at the bottom of the filter. So yeah, first things first, I think there's got to be a way of turning. I know that there is a bleed screw, but I don't want fuel to be shooting everywhere whenever I take this off. But that should be alright, because it's above the tank. The tank is down low, it shouldn't pour out, and then I can use the bleed screw to make sure the new one is filled with fuel once you get the pump on. So we'll try it that way anyway. Hopefully things don't go wrong. I would be happier if I could find a little shut-off valve at the filter, but I can't see one. Now, and apparently to take these off, this just loosens. So I'll try and do it with my hand, and if it doesn't loosen by hand, I might have to get a filter wrench, but we'll try it by hand first of all. We'll see. Now, filter wrench it is. We'll try it in a minute. Okay, I've got my filter wrench. I slid it on over the bottom, right up round. I've tightened it up against the little nut locking mechanism, and it's turning, but it's not turning that easily. That's lock. That way will be lock. That's loose. Right, it's just going slowly. Right, I'll get this off here. Okay, rookie mistake. I was tightening it. Turn it the other way, and that comes off without an issue. So here she comes, I hope. Careful this glass bowl. Hey, there she's out anyway. It's full of diesel, but I'll pull her out. There we go, and the glass bowl seems to be held on with the same sort of mechanism. So I'll take this over to the bench. I'll keep that diesel somewhere. I'll put it in a container, keep it safe. I'll take off the glass bowl, and then I'll rebuild it all with the new white filter. That worked as planned. Not too much trouble at all. The pipe wrench, or the filter wrench, took off the filter. It also, I had to use the filter wrench to take off the little glass bowl at the bottom. I unscrewed that black drain plug, and the glass housing just screwed straight on. So yeah, it's just all that remains now. This is only meant to be finger tight, so I'll try it finger tight, and then I'll turn the pump on. Well, there's a hand pump I think on it too, which I'll show you in a moment. But I'll get this on first of all, back onto the filter housing, and we'll see how it goes from there. You'll see I've also written date and hours. Okay, I took it off again, couldn't find the bleed screw, so I took off the filter, filled it full of diesel, and put it back on, and she started pretty much first turn after that. So yeah, if you don't look for a bleed, don't look for a wee pump. Don't think there is one on this particular one, couldn't find one. Just make sure you fill it up with diesel, clean diesel, and before you put it on. And then I left the bleed screw open, started her up, or give her a few turns over. The diesel came out, as you can see, onto the floor. Knew she was drained, or blade, tightened it up, and then tried it again, and she went first time. So yep, all good. That's the fuel one done. Just now there's a couple of hydraulic filters underneath. They're next. And then there's this. Don't know whether I'll do this today or not. I think I need to cut this way in there, which could be fiddly enough, under that bracket, to put this new this new connection on. I think I have to cut the pipe. There's no join naturally there, so I might have to cut the pipe, or I will have to cut the pipe to push that on and get that bit underneath that bracket, and then this bit here should be alright. It should just attach onto that bracket the same way that the current exhaust pipe does. So I'll see. I might have a go at it today. I might leave it for another day. But yeah, no, we're getting on all right. Okay, the next two filters are these ones. I think this one, which is in a little housing, is for the power quad gearbox. I think you'll see that there's a 1/2 inch socket drive in there, and then this one here is an element. It's a cartridge that you put inside the casing, and I think that's just the hydraulic fluid filter. So I'll crawl under the tractor here. I think there's the steps. I think the one for the gearbox is just more or less under there, and the other one, the hydraulic one, is in the green housing, which is in about there, big long green housing. So I've had a look already. I think they both can be taken off with a 1/2 inch drive. So I will crawl under, and I'll try and show you as well before I take the old ones off. Putting the sheet down here to lie on it. I don't know whether it's to keep me clean off the floor or the floor clean off me, but we'll go under here and have a nose it. That there, I think, see the green housing? I think that's the filter for the hydraulic cartridge. And then there, that is the gearbox one, I think. I'm hoping there's no oil starts to fly out whenever I take these out, but it could be a very hasty replacement. But simply what I'm going to do is put my 1/2 inch drive up in there and loosen it slowly just to see what happens. If there's no major flood, I'll keep going. If there is, I need to think again. The reason I'm not changing the oil and the whole thing, the hydraulic oil, is because it takes 57 litres, and it's cost me the guts of £200 to buy the filters, and I would need to spend the same again on oil. What I'm thinking of doing this time is simply changing the filters, and then the next time I will do the whole shebang. I'll do the oil as well. I'm not having any trouble with anything hydraulic, with the gearbox or anything. I'm just doing this as a matter of routine. So hopefully there's no issue with just changing the filters. I'll let you know. I've moved outside now, and I have unscrewed that black filter. So yeah, that's where she goes there. So I'll just I'll take the new one. I'll screw it on now. It just seems to be an ordinary right hand thread, so I'll screw it on, get it as tight as I can, and then move on to the last one. Okay, I put oil in it because I'd lost the oil in the one I took out, so I mostly filled it with oil, and then according to what I could make out on the instructions, you had to tighten it up hand tight and then half a turn with a ratchet. So I did that, and that should be it, I hope. On to the last one, this one here. This one seems to have a nut at the bottom, so I'll just see what size of nut I need, and then unscrew this housing. I've got my drip collector here, just in case there's a wee bit comes out of it, but then that should be it after that. So yep, I'll see what size of socket. Right, a 24mm nut, or 24mm socket, fits on nicely. So that is a 24mm. I'll put it onto the ratchet here and just slacken it off a bit. That one was on tight. I had to use the impact to get that one loosened, but she's loose now. So there doesn't seem to be any oil coming out of this one, which is a good thing, but I'll use 2 hands here, get it unscrewed and show you the next stage. Okay, now that I have, turn you around a bit, now that I have this out, I've discovered, I've discovered 2 things. First is that it says 2,000 hours on it. Well overdue a change, however, it must have been causing issues because there's no filter in it. So the filter that I'm putting in has an open end and a closed end, so I'm assuming the closed end goes at the bottom and the open end goes at the top, but there was no filter in there. I said I'll appreciate this now, so yeah, I'll put that in and put that in there and then screw that back on. 24mm bolt at the bottom and or head at the bottom, and I said I'll appreciate having a filter on it. Hopefully no harm was done by not having a filter on it. Again, there was relatively little oil come out, very little, wee bit but not very much, so hopefully that's a good sign. Right, I'll stick this in. Right, that's us now in the cab. We'll just have to see what happens now, if we have any leaks or anything like that. So it'll get a bit noisy here, but you'll get the gist of what I'm doing. Oops, there we go, much better. So turn the key. Well, she's going. So check. Indicator on. No leak. No leak there either, so we're all looking good. I'll just check the hydraulics, make sure they're working. Bring out my oily drum. I'll just double check that the hydraulics are all working on it, because I haven't used them, obviously. Link arms down. Link arms up. And if I go for the hitch, alright, hitch is out. Well, you can see it in a minute. All good. I'll check the oil level in the hydraulics, although I checked it a few days ago, so I might need a wee top up, but not much. All good, so hopefully that's it. Thank you, Nate. Bye bye. I also did this. I also fixed my pipe. I took a bit of doctoring. I'm going to have to shorten that pipe a bit more and push that in a little bit more. But that new section of pipe is complete. Unlike, I had to do a bit of doctoring around here for this clamp. This clamp I haven't quite finished the doctoring yet, but it's all tight. So yeah, that should do it for now. Anyway, you can see where the old one was blowing out, marking the paint. But yeah, looking good. My little 6010 going rightly.